We Santo man kolnyang Mike Chol Grangawan Yubit Luping Yarul Pandiri Shet Maniel Anake Ton Niel Jilo Wenetona Dol I think a kick, Kega Buka, Devo, Anyalinya, dear Kuik, Pingrin, Gemana, when I jang along, I do Kega Parami, Madit Majak, Kubo, Makur, Kega Bolikan, Kuai Zakian, Wagari, Kegela, Emmanuel, when you go, I think a kick, Kega.
Madit Majak, Kadi Magog Bay, long time. Good evening. Welcome everybody. Share the video. Welcome to our clubhouse. That people in. Those of you are watching on clubhouse, YouTube and Facebook Live. That video. You can Thank you, bring me. Welcome. The more Uncle Akon, look at you up one. Long time, I hope you guys are doing well. Big media, reporters, now, lalo nun pag lalo sa bull na Alrighty, welcome to Madit Talk Show this evening. My name is Madit Majak. For those of you know me very much, so some of you turning in Facebook Live and YouTube and X with Twitter and also Clubhouse. Welcome to the show, to the Lakes Media. So whenever we come live, we have important breaking news, important for our country. That's where we will talk about it. So we have a two important event happened a couple of days ago and today. That's why we came. I came live so that we can share. We will have some of our analysis team will join us. General Secretary of Lakes Media, Usas Mujung Makumala, will join us shortly, and also we'll have. Mora Anyar will join me in Clubhouse if you have a chance later on. So, and the others, South Sudanese, who are follow Lake Media, and to weigh in and to analyze what's happening. So, these two events, I think, thank you for joining us. And those of you, I know it's late in South Sudan. It's a night time in South Sudan and it's night time somewhere in Australia. And good evening, those of you in North America and South America. So it's like evening time for hours. And those of you in the Midwest, in Michigan and some part, we're having a winter storm, which is snow. So those of you, because it's a winter season in our area, so those of you who are in this part of area, so please be safe out there. It's snowing and it's cold. Make sure that you and your family get yourself a bit much because we are in cold winter. It will be a long winter season this year. Make sure that get yourself the warm stuff, get yourself the food in your house so that your family can have everything whenever there is a snow and the road are shut down. So you make sure that you stay home with your family. So that is a little bit update for those of us who are in America who are experiencing this cold weather. For those, so let me good evening and good morning and good night wherever you are. Thank you and our viewers listening across South Sudan and beyond. Welcome to another edition of Madit Majak Live Show with the Lakes Media and South Sudan Media. And we see evolving story happening in English. So that's where we will have. So there's a breaking news in English, which is in South Sudan in Dinka language, it's called Pantau. So Pantau is a part, as we know that Pantau English is a part of South Sudan, but Sudan took it because they have the oil. And we know this by elite. I'm not going to go there, but we are talking about what's happening as right now. So how we know that Sudan is having a civil war itself. RSF, which is led by Amity, and also Sudan Defense Force government, which is led by Buran. So these two generals have been fighting each other, seeing Umar al-Bashir left the power. So now, how we speak as a breaking news that RSF captured Pantau, which is English, and there are casualties. Okay, we heard that we're receiving some of the update that we like 73. I don't know if this number are correct, but so don't take Lake Media on this because this is what we are getting. But according to the official from SSPDF spokesperson or any other headquarter, Bilipam, they have not confirmed it yet. The casualty from SSPDF, but what we are seeing collecting in the media, we have seen that about 73 SSPDF were killed in Pantau during the moment of those who for the last few days, weeks for the war over there in the oil area. As we all know that the English or Pantau is oil field as one of the big oil that South Sudan and Sudan depend on. Now the question is, when I'm seeing when I'm seeing the report from spokesperson SSPDF, he said that, and I'm quoting him. He's saying that SSPDF, he said that South Sudan's oil facility remains secure via RSSF capital English in Sudan. The spokesperson Lul Rai confirmed that operation normal. So that's what he said. But the question is, how is it secure, the oil field? How is it secure? And there are like thousand and thousand Sudan army forces surrender. They run into the part of Sudan, South Sudan, and they hand over their guns, as you see the pictures we will play. So before that, we dive into our analysis. So listen to General Johnson Willie. He is on the ground there, part over there, and then he's speaking. And I'm quoting him. Here is what he said in his video. I'm quoting him here. He said that, and I'm quote, these forces, South Sudan soldiers, are now with us here in Pankwach, and we have taken all the supply that were in their possession. Supply mean that the weapons, guns, and all don't have a machine gun. They took it, including the military equipment. We have taken the control of all the area and will go to Illich to take control of the area. Oh, wait a second. And we are waiting instruction from President Salva Kiir, Commander-in-Chief, so by Elder General Johnson Woolley, SSPDF, Deputy Chief of Defense Forces for Mobilization in the Army. That's what he said, okay? So something that caught my attention here before I play this video, he said that, I'm quoting him, he said, he said that we have taken control all the area, and I'm quoting him, and we will go to Illich to take control of the area. What that means? That's what that means. Listen to it. What do you mean by that? Listen to my that we will.
Nana Nerelo, في معلوم أكو ما يقول لنا. سو شكر بنديو لبران وصار فكر مجاديد عشان هم لما نفوسهم زي ما مثل بقولوا شعبين في دولة واحد. سو ده ما اعتبروا زي إخواننا ونحن مسؤولين عشان جينا قابلنا وسلمنا معنا ده كله. بعد شوية أنا نمشي إليش ونمشي نسلم إليش وبعد كده أتعلمنا يبدأ في كده بران ما صار فكر مجاديد.
Okay, so that you have it, guys. So that is the video, and you have seen some of the weapon Welcome, Nisib Tilo. So we will. So those are the things. So those of you who just joined me in Clubhouse and Facebook Live and YouTube, we have two topics we are to discuss this evening. One is RSF capture elite Panta oil field, and number two topic is about the military confrontation between the Red Bed member and government forces in both Marol market. This a day or 2 days ago. So those are the two topics that we are talking about this evening. So as you see, as you see that SSPDF is forces that the oil field is served. So you see the picture that I put up there. That is the oil field in English and so what that you see there is a lot of you see the damages in the oil field. So the question is tonight for South Sudan government, what is your reaction to this? What is your move? So here are the things that I want to ask you who are watching tonight. And some of this, what does this mean for the flowing of the oil? What this mean? That's the question. The oil. This one of the oil pipeline in English is one of the supply they're running, and the others oil field has closed before. And number two, how may this shape the balance power in Sudan ongoing conflicts? And what is the relationship? Because South Sudan government they are on awkward situation here. Okay, so they've been seeing the war broke out in Sudan. South Sudan government has been staying as neutral. They are not supporting Amity or Buran. Okay, but South Sudan here is a midwife. And hell, you all know oil is flowing to the Red Sea. South Sudan oil got that. And this war is going on. And since the war is that has been shut down, oil flowing and come back. And you know South Sudan government depend on oil. The economy, 95% of it is depend on oil. So if oil is shut down, if Panta oil is shut down, what this is to the government of South Sudan. And what will be those two, what their tie between Amity and Buran, and what President Salva Kiir going to do here. This is and one of the things. And you also know that the fall of Elish or Panto after signal that the major victory for the group. This is they are separate. You have seen pictures. So all of that are been. It is one of the things that we have seen, and what will, because as I'm quoting the spokesperson of SSPDF that they will, General Willing, Johnson Willing. So he said that they are going to go to Panton. So what that mean? Are they going to take the elite from RSF, or what that means? So the coming days, and we will see what the action is. So before I go to the next, so let me see waiting. Let me see. Get you. Okay, let me try to bring one person. Nisib Batilo, before I move on, do you have anything to talk about this current event in Ilish, Pantau?
Not really, the Abraham. If I suggest if you can brief us about the war crisis as well, would be great, because
that's
next.
That's next. Yeah, that's next. My the next topic. Yeah. So all of those, those are the things going on. So you have seen the video and you have seen all the weapons. Now those Sudan army forces that's surrendered and they came back to part of Sudan, so they will be treated as. So what the government of South Sudan is going to do, because I have seen that SPDF collected all the weapons from them, and now they will be treated as refugees. And we have known that thousands of Sudanese are in part of Sudan, in northern part of Sudan, in those areas. So that is what you will see. So now, here is what we are really. I'm really one of the 10 years ago when SSPDF or as PLM took over the image, and you have seen what happened during that time, and then they were asked to draw and all kinds of stuff. So what is this meant for the government of South Sudan? Okay. What I'm seeing, because all the territory there across the Sudan border between Illich and also and Abyei. So this is the time for the South Sudan to take all the territory, also Blue Nile, also in Nuba Mountains. All these people, this area, this was supposed to be a time for Sudan, South Sudan, to take all these territories back. Okay? But they are not playing that. They are not doing that, because what the South Sudan government is dealing is fighting it with these rebels, but they are not focused positive for the return back English handle South Sudan, to also to make sure that Abyei should be a part of South Sudan. There's no doubt. Okay, those agreements that have been signed, it's gone with the Umar Bashir. So why are the South Sudan government still follow those agreements? And Sudan having different governments, not one government, it's multiple, two governments, and they will be break apart. Okay, Sudan will be divided into 2 or 3 countries. Okay, so if Darfurian can come out, Darfur said, okay, we will declare ourselves. Okay, Nuba Mountain, they will declare themselves. Blue Nile, okay, and also Abyei. All of these are our allies. Okay, so South Sudan government should support playing a very effective role here to say, okay, this you are mine. I would also join South Sudan be a part of the South Sudan country. And one of the things that as government of South Sudan is not doing that. So it's still playing that they is following agreement. What agreement are you following? That agreement you guys signed with Umar Bashir, and Umar Bashir is no longer there. So it is a time for you, Juba government, take an action. Take that hand off. It's a part. It is a time. Take back Blue Nile for the fund also. This area, these people, they are our people. So it is a time for you guys to play a role to unite this area, bring it back to the south instead of fighting yourself, like opposition rebels and the government are now fighting. So all of those. So this is the thing. So all of that, yeah, that is one of the things we see, and I hope government of South Sudan will take that role to make sure that we take this area back to South Sudan. So my next topic is regarding about Red Bell and SSPDF security forces, which is that, as we all know, last week they a couple of weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, the government sent security forces in go around his arm, which is the Red Bell. And before I go to that topic, let me one of the civil society in Uniakani is responding about what is going on in English. So let me play his audio so you guys can hear, because I have 2 audio from him. So he responds to what we are talking, our 2 topic about what happened in English and also what happened in Bor. So he's responding to those 2 events. So I will play his audio recording about what he think about what had happened in English loyalty, and then we move to the next agenda. Let me see.
On South Sudan economy, the capture of Heglig town, which is a hub. My name is Edmond Yakani, Executive Director of SEPO. I would like to take this opportunity to make my comment on the lately development in Sudan violence that have a direct implication on South Sudan economy. The capture of Heglig town, which is a hub
for South Sudan oil exit to the international market through the facilities in Sudan by the forces of Rapid Support Force from Sudan Armed Forces, it set a critical step on the relationship of Juba and Khartoum over the role of RSF in playing a game in between Juba and Khartoum as the military struggle for finding solution crisis in Sudan is getting closer and is pinching South Sudan directly. We are aware that South Sudan oil exit is through Heglig. And we are aware today that the spokesperson of South Sudan People Defense Force assured the nation that though Heglig is captured by Rapid Support Force from Sudan Armed Forces, the oil infrastructure of South Sudan remains safe. It is not affected or it is not destabilized. That is true. But RSF controlling Heglig, it means a lot in South Sudan economy. It means a lot in Juba-Khartoum relationship or South Sudan and Sudan government relationship. This is a critical milestone and is a critical step. As a civil society activist, I would like to take this opportunity to appeal to the leadership in Juba that since the ticket of IGAD special envoy to Sudan is given to South Sudan, is a South Sudan ticket, this position South Sudan to a strategic position in handling the violence in Sudan, though we have too much of our own crisis at home that we need to handle, and we find ourselves very hard to extend our hands to the situation in Sudan in terms of seeking peace and stability. At the same time, also Sudan with its crisis is one of the grantors for peace and stability in South Sudan. This is a total confusion. This is a clear indicator for political class in South Sudan and Sudan that the approach of seeking solution to political crisis through military struggle offers a lot of risk more than the dialogue. Therefore, Juba and Khartoum need to embrace the culture of dialogue. And I think Juba is in a critical position to extend its hand to the warring parties in Sudan to opt to go for dialogue, though we are aware that Juba even is struggling with its own crisis. The unfortunate and the painful situation is that citizens of the both countries, South Sudanese and Sudanese, are paying this expensive price of military solution to political crisis, whether among the warring parties in Sudan or the warring parties in South Sudan. This is the unfortunate situation for the citizens of both sides. And that's why, as an activist in South Sudan, I'm appealing to the warring parties in South Sudan and Sudan that please resolve your political differences through dialogue. That will make the citizen not to pay a very expensive price in their lives or through their livelihoods. I'm appealing to Juba and Khartoum. I'm appealing to the warring parties, both in Juba and Khartoum, to really opt to the best option of a dialogue, which is much more meeting the best interest of the citizen, which is peace and stability. But with this latest development of Heglig falling into the hands of the Rapid Support Force from SAP, this may likely trigger a very reactive role from the leadership of the United States. We are aware that the United States is trying to get attention of South Sudan and Sudan crisis, and we are aware that there's a less political will, though Saudi Arabia have reminded the new administration of US to help fix the situation of Sudan. And of course, that means by extension, that may lead to South Sudan. Same thing also, the fall of Heglig from the hands of Sudan Armed Forces to Rapid Support Force, it bring a new trend of again to the oil sector investors, and this may also bring in our friends from China to have a position on what does it mean exactly. Oil field of Heglig is under the control of the Rapid Support Force. This means a lot, as I repeat myself, it is critical just the leadership in Juba need to be proactive in supporting dialogue in Sudan than military confrontation. And if we are to use dialogue for resolving military confrontation, for seeking political solution to political crisis, then charity begins at home. We need to adapt the strategy before we tell our neighbors. Otherwise, the fall of Heglig from the hands of SAF to RSF is changing the game of politics between Juba and Khartoum, and it is setting a new pathway for economical negotiation or economical engagement between Juba and Khartoum. RSF is now at the center of determining the economy of both South Sudan and Sudan by the control of Heglig. This is risky, this is terrible. Of course, we urge RSF to take also a responsibility of promoting non-violence, respect of human rights, and ensuring that atrocities that we have seen being leveled against RSF should not exceed to economical crisis, but also even human rights violations. We strongly condemn any warring parties in Sudan or in South Sudan that tend to use torture, intimidation, genocide, humiliation, extrajudicial killing as an instrument of showing strength. We strongly condemn that and we don't embrace that. But now the economy is at the game for politics in Juba and Khartoum. Thank you very much.
That is the response to one of the civil society in Muyakani. That is what we are expecting, because the economy in Juba, after this event in English, Pantau, it will be it is a game changing year. And the question is, if it is a game changing, what will the Juba government do? Okay. Even though he will sit down and talk with RSF and Amity of Ran in Khartoum. So still, so this is a very hard call, and Juba government need to do something. As Inmun just said, that charity begins at home. Okay, you need to do something. What is best for South Sudanese? Okay, so that's your call, government of South Sudan. President Salva Kiir, you need to do something. That's your call. So my next topic is about the Red Belt and the South Sudan. As we know, because the reason why I'm connecting these two events is because we are fighting ourselves, we are bullshitting ourselves, we are killing ourselves. Meanwhile, we're having a threat to the foreigners' country. So which one? This is the question that I'm giving to South Sudan government and also to the citizen of South Sudan, because violence, and also this message too calling out to the opposition rebels who pick up arms and fighting with the government. So if you see that South Sudan is under threat, a late Pantau is not captured by RSF. It's one of the oil fields that is a lifeline of South Sudan. Okay, and government now is fighting with itself, with its citizens, with the rebels and the group of youth, whether it's a white army or red belt. So have we seen a couple of days ago or yesterday, you have seen one of the incidents in Bo Town, one of the Marol market. That's being I pronounce that's correct. So in Bo, so there were an event incident happened there. The security personnel, according to what we received, they say that they received a report that the Red Belt member, they were in one of the restaurants. So the security personnel stormed that area. And then, so what we're receiving here is there are 2 people died and 7 civilians are wounded. Here is what happened. So there were like 1 Red Belt deputy commander was killed, and then 1 national security officer was killed, and 2 national security officers were injured, and 7 civilians were wounded. So That's what I received. Maybe it should be more than that. So that should be more. Maybe there were more deaths. So some I heard that there were 5 more civilian, and the picture of the wounded civilian, even the young girl, like 5 or 7 years old, was shot. This is really heartbreaking to see that the civilians are suffering at the hand of their own people. Okay, so this is really heartbreaking. So in Bor, as we all know, that the Red Belt were claiming that they are not rebels. They are community defense forces. They defend their own. They protect their own people from any other aggression coming from their neighbors' communities. Okay, but the government, according to the government, and I will play to play your brain from the report from SSPDF, the spokesperson, and also from Chief of Staff. So I will play all of this. So now, as South Sudan in this critical moment, like what happened in Pantau, in English, and other area across the border in Sudan, and now what happened in Bor, it is a time for me to call the government of South Sudan and also the Bor community, Red Bell, so that they can sit down, negotiate, and stop. This is what they are doing. Because South Sudan is experiencing a crisis right now, and we should not be killing one another. So listen to the couple months ago, the spokesperson saying things about Red Bell. And also, too, I have a video from the chairman, both community chairman. He will speak about what happened yesterday. I will play this video. So listen to spokesperson of SSPDF.
General Dr. Paul Majak issues the following orders here under. Order number 1, members of the Red Band movement are hereby ordered to join SSPDF with their personal and support weapons. A committee will be formed and sent to Malal Chad barracks to receive members of the Red Band movement joining the army. Members declining this golden opportunity and honor to serve will face forceful disarmament at the earliest time possible. Order number 2, armed youth in Greater Warab are hereby ordered to voluntarily hand over the weapons to SSPDF within 21 days. Failure to comply with above orders will result in the launching of a comprehensive forceful disarmament exercise. Order number 3, members of SPLIO are ordered to report to the nearest SSPDF barracks in preparation for the commencement of second phase of the implementation of transitional security arrangements. Members of SPLIO who want to comply with the above orders would be considered hostile forces and will face full force of the national army. Thank you.
Now that was done, okay, when SSPDF called the Red Bell to put down their weapon, and they will report themselves to one of the branch Marol so that they can integrate in SSPDF. That didn't happen. Okay, that was that. Then weeks later, here is what happened.
بالنسبه للاسئله بتاع ريد بيل المعدل الامني بالنسبه لنا في جنوب الان دي ريد بيل زايد على الناس اللي بيشاكلوا معنا لانه في ناس بيقولوا انه قالوا ده تنظيم بتاع كوميونتي لكن عندهم شعار وعندهم دبابير وبيجي بيشتروا اسلحه زي اجل وعندهم قنايل معناه ده تنظيم واعلان بتاعتي قبل زمن انه ناس بتاع ريد بيل لو زول داير يكون عسكري يبلغ في المركز لو زول ما داير يكون عسكري يشيل السلاح ويسلموا لنا لكن من الليله واللي قدام لازم تتعاملوا مع ريد بيل كمجرمين وهي اجهزه امنيه الموجودين لما تبقى ريد بيل يتصرف مو بالتصرف انه زول ده عدو لانه ما في تنظيم بتاع المواطنين بيكون عنده دبابير وعنده شعار فالتعليمات دي انا ضروري لها عمليات لازم يتعاملوا مع ريد بيل فتعامل زي اي الناس اللي قاعدين بيشاكلوا معنا.
Okay, so this is the awkward situation, right? The government see the red bell as a challenge to them, right? The red bell saying that they are not in position fighting with the government. They claim that we are only protect our community, our people. We are not rebels. But the government said that, no, wait a minute. You guys have your own rank, you have your own uniform, so you are not a civil, okay, movement like a community. It's not. So they see Red Bell had a threat to the government. So now, few days ago, I see that because sometimes when South Sudan says this is a rumors, it will come true. Will come true. So a few days ago, I heard that the Red Bell leader say that they give SSPDF 48 hours to leave Bor when they are coming in. And then yesterday you see what happened. So civilian right here, they are caught in fire. They have been, as you see, many people have died now, wounded. And they are women and children. And the government sees the Red Bell as a rebel. And the Red Bull say that they are not rebels. And the Boer community come out, listen to the Boer, the chairman from Boer community. He was speaking from Wenjiang. Yesterday he came out with press because I know the Boer leaders, they are doing their best so that they can bring the government and the youth of Red Belt together so that they can have peace. I don't know what's going on. Okay, what is happening? We have seen incident happening coming out in Bor. Like last month, we have seen one of the security personnel when point the gun into the old lady, grandmother, the old, and demand that if you cannot give me the money, I will kill you. The civilians are getting arrested from the security personnel. And I give thanks to the SSPDF National Security for take that, because they take they capture that the person who did that and they arrested him, which is accountability very important. But still, we don't know what is happening in both. So this needs to stop. And in every area that there is incident, they need to stop. The peace is the only option. Violence is not a solution. So government of South Sudan need to reconsider, to sit down, to call the government official and also the leaders, both community leaders, to come together so that they can sit down, because one way or another, the Red Bell use their account from the board community, okay, and they know that their leaders, they will talk. Okay. So listen to this to one of the board community chairman in Cuba, what he said. And it will
ya lo ke ngale ke njen mana daga no gari ben wan gu lo lo nyong lo ri la bele de en ke dialan kan ko cha lo ndi ko me chane ti lo tu ye ti bu no mi ban ko lo yi ke ngare ti ko ano ke bi jor no ga jor chane ke lo ne ji ti wa chan wa bi ngare bi invitation ne ji ti na ta lo bo nga jol chayo ka ja lo len te lo bo ke what you have to go over social media. Yes, and I can invite the board. Chambalo, Lonely Green. That thing is yes, I tell you, right? The king I tell you by you. Chene ka bai rio ka cha ka ya bai. Chane chinde ya lo cha ke wona ko. Ina yi lo mi da ga de ka lo ga tin da. Ina dom de man war chene me de ku ni to chene ka dom ma bu ka be ge da den. Kan lo ko pe ni ke chok mi ka de dom di lo ni man war chane de dom di lo. Dom ke dom de kan. Ku ya lo ku lo wo panda du wer ku ka wanga. For the first time in history, many chapter yakuma da karo kan mo RPG ko mo RPG man ko le mede. To ka lo. Ko tu lo ni wo bo. Ai ra ni jen mana da ni no mi no ni chi wo. Ni ri er ko tol ko mi no lo pe ngone te ko ka ja. Be ke lo. Ni na tu jal mi yang ga to man ko tu jal mi te tu jal be ke ngo man. Ko jen jal ko le jal ko man. To ko wo de mi ro wo. Ke na wo ke la fra ke na wo ya la ma kon ni jam. Có hoàn cái tên rồi, cho nên với bạn là thế ra cái tầm walk, còn giang walk, mình sắp rồi mình đi chơi, mà rồi có cái nào cuốn nó lại nhân gian, thì quá cao quá thì đi cái bóc, cái rồi thì nó thì có, especially có cái suspected cái red belt, là cái gì bên bị chậm xuống thì mà rồi, cái khả năng clash, cái nó cái national security. Ini nak buka ya aku. Macam mana aku? Aku ni jual war loy di zaman ni. War war loy kakak red band, ni jual ni. Iram cakap ni kaya. Kalau aku mana kata beli geran, loy kiri. Ini nak kena loy kau. Bunyi nanti tu kan. Cuma sakla cek Benjamin. Bukan kan menyok. War so very cek ni cek. They remember that Pangu actually going to New York. Kita kaya war white to one minute ago. Kita dia jenang ke war. Yang yang kita kaya kecil ni. Jadi kian so jinan ber kaya tu. Jadi yang ber kaya jalan ni. Jalan tu kaya mana ni apa munu. Macam kita tu. Kita jaga kau kendi. Tu orang tu ni juga. Kita cabar ini, kau kenal. Tahu gambar ada kau pun. Tu orang dia juga bagai aku dua orang ni pun. Itu wakil. Kenapa orang tu kau sendiri orang tu juga. Kau orang kau bilang kau juga. Kenapa kau lu juga kau lu. Jadi lu baik pan. Pan ada. Jangan ni. Baik kan ni, jangan lupakan. Waktu itu aku mimpi jangan. Ini aku macam tu kalau loy, saya wajah macam macam. Bukan tu ego, saya nggak tahu ngenum, nggak tahu no. Dengan apa dia ni, buat punya ni. Kenapa anda? Kalau pun, jadi kalau buat kaji aku kalau buat tu. Dia cian, ya leh. Buat pan bu. Aci ko yoga ani jama lam ko long da rek kay ko na kuma ya kuma lel kuma ga da ko kana mena ko tu boy tu yari ton tin ko de yo kay woni yen bu ten ni ko to wi kun ti dia no lel mo ko chandor ti ga especially the restaurant ga ci dia ni yo ti jam ko jam de ke Nano kilo net in social media jangan wait dan dengan kontrol itu. Kalau kau sudah tidak ada di orang mami jalur kota. Mungkin aja ada dulu. Buat kau ni kita nak berkata. Kau ni buat cuma ni orang nyiwa mana ada kalau dulu ni dia lucu. Jangan dulu di jar mesti. Kalau baik tahu. Jangan dulu di jar mesti macam. Akhirnya jangan kau buru kita buru kat ni. Mungkin ada jadi mungkin itu kori. Mungkin kau war biar nawa kuan kau kuan okey dia mungkin kau berar dulu itu. Ini dia apa ni? Ini motor ini. Ini jam naik mun buru juga. Kira sih mun buru ini kau ni apa yang begitu? Macam apa motor ini? Orang kita kasih. Ini kan motor bangun kan ini. Tu ini tu. Jangan keluar aku malah bah. Jadi itu bukan tu. Kau yang dia yang ni kita kerja dari tu kita ni jadi. Aku bawa kau ni kau bawa kau. Kau pergi jadi bedam. Jadi Ni jaja mimi kuma. Nyungu pin buko ko buko tem. Buko jaja madina buko ko. Ada mo ni. Ini aku mau bicara apa ini? Jangan dulu ya. Aku jadi kuat. Ini gitu. Aku nggak lulus dia. Aku cuma dia dia berarti dia cuma kan sudah dia. Belum nggak dong. Dia kita belum dong baru kita ini cara mungkin kamu. Belum dia cerita ya. Ini raya ini supaya lah. Betulnya. Jangan nam mungkin jengki. Jadi kalau aku mau beribu. Kita dulu kendam. Punya sampai anak jadi dulu aku mau kamu tuh gangguan aku mah. Dan aku mah ada pun itu. Nah ini kan pandu. Pandu dari itu. Di pandu kamu aku ini jalan bawa pandu ni. Roti kokun dan janji itu. Lalu roti kokun dan janji itu. Akhir malah kalau aku mah malah kalau security malah kok kalau nyari nampak.
Tại nhiên, ai chào ping nong bánhมีระบอดผ่านบอสตัวจุบะถ้าบ้านเมื่อสิ่งเดียวอยู่เป็นแล้วก็รัดแบนกรุ๊ปเพียงแค่บ้านควรเพียงแค่น้องคอยดีควรก็คอยดีกับบ้านเพียงแค่กันเวลเพียงแค่เวลก็คอยดีควรตัวผู้ใหม่เอกเวลเพียงแค่น้องบ้านควรหมู่เวกwhether I'm with community board, community to Juba, or board community to or Jonglei, or board community to diaspora. Pianka, ke bank one way, Palka, Tongwin, Tongapakipabia baby. Who quite will you read bad supporting? I see your argument. So, read bell that argument, getting a man. That way, we got quite one to protect from Marol, from any other threat from nowhere. So, as we all know, that war and war, actually a lot of crisis, actually experience, say 1991, 2013. Okay, quite the actual pan war. Okay, who would think one, it would call. Okay, red belt here could ban by take a group of you won't be quite protected. Apart, okay, but do not like don't be Louis Mantimin command negative thing that a tower court that would I law but civilian macro arrest. Black command bag law soup after Jamu Atami, why you pay? Who I look at right. You're going to keep up. You will community protect community, who I community win, why win by quite one but I will protect non kun. The king will not protect a man I can arrest. I think part of it. We know Kuma Barbu. Can I want you come in a Kuma? I want you. No in security, Kinata, but if you put security Kinata and board will civilian will protect it. But the government, you fail to protect the life and property of the citizens. And the reason why is because the community, the youth have to come out to mobilize themselves and protect their people from harm way. Okay, now you're coming out, condemn the red belt, saying that, okay, they have a weapon, they have all of this, they organize themselves, and you don't want them to say, well, provide the security for crying aloud. Okay, you said that you are arming them. And there is a message, I don't know if it is a propaganda from the Boer community or it's true. When the red bell moved out from the Boer and they went to the bush somewhere, okay, I heard that this, I don't know if it is a propaganda, it's true from Boer or what they will do. Morley, a Kiban, Pan Boat, while we tell what you do, a Kidiar, no. Okay, when we bought die, we quite die up because I didn't have, I don't know if it is true or not. You see? And they were making a point, the red one making a point on that, if it is true. And they are doing propaganda on this. But if it is true that there were incidents happen when the red bell move out from Bor, from Jonglei, and then there is attacks. And civilians have been killed. Marol, if that's true, the blaming have to fall on you, government. You are not providing the security to protect the civilians and their own property. And we are seeing that that's not in Bor. We are seeing that in Lake, in Europe. Okay? The change are experiencing a daily attack from Pinjar. And there's no protection here. So you, government, you have is your mandate to provide the security protection for civilians. If you provide the protection, there will be no any community organize themselves and form a movement like Red Bell to protect themselves. If the rest of the community, all the community come out and they see that there is a challenge, that is a threat, okay, to their people, what you should do expect it to do? But now when you see that, oh, they are challenging, the Red Bell is challenging to the government, and you label them, they are rebels. I don't know who is behind the Red Bell, okay? And the Red Bell, they're saying that, that's what they're saying, they say that they are a organized youth that protect their people. But the government is coming in here and said that, okay, and they display the weapon, as you can see. In Juba, the day that there is, they thought that the government think that the Red Bell is that a sleeping cell there to overthrow the government. So the evidence show, which is evident, but the evidence said that, okay, they have ranking, they have uniform, okay. And that's wrong too to you, Red Bell. Like I wipe it with Pando. I wipe it because you were for me. Galwang, they don't have rank. They don't have rank. Galwang, they don't have rank. They don't have uniform. I can't catch up. Murukali, I can Kujila uniform can civilian can in one young. I can well, that much work she can alloy. They were really that way. We got to protect Kramadi Pan, but protect DR Pro walk one. Instead of that, we will not organize to the point that you even give yourself a logo and uniform. That's why the government accusing you that you are a rebels group. Because you organize yourself. You have a big weapon, you have your own uniform, you have a logo, even you have a leader. Yes, of course, everybody, you have to have it. Even yes, it's good. If you recognize it, you have to have a leader. There's nothing that no group that can no leader. Yeah, you can have a leader. But to the point that the government is accusing you that you are a rebels because because the way that you represent yourself and the weapon that the government get it from, and also to if you think that we meet ban more with Red Bell. The way you that way we always protect quite one. Makrubag have this connection with the government. Okay, he said, okay, you have this connection with the government so that the security will not threaten you. Like what happened? Like last month, we have seen the huge forces of national security want to disarm, and you refuse to be disarmed, and you are acting gunfire. Quite a in Javati are your own people. They are now suffering at the hand of national security, at the hand of you, Red Bell. And also national security forces, you should not fighting with innocent civilian. You are killing the civilian as we have seen. How many wounded? Like the young girl, the little girl, till were ended, till were wounded. She should not be felt as a victim. national security. What are you doing? Chatting and one of the child bomb. And you should not think twice. There are the civilians there. So what that is one of, if you put back life coin your bagatao in jeopardy, that's the wrong thing to do. National security personnel, and also Red Band. YouTube group. What you did is not good involved yesterday. Bag diar meet bag jara tao kuchikedi che and national security too, you should put the priority, the safety of civilians first. If you see that there are members of the Red Belt are in that area and you receive information regarding that, and they are in the midst of the civilian, you should not go there and attacking them. Wait for them so that they can leave the area. But what you did yesterday, bombing, killing, like to kill them, what's the point? Those civilians should not be fell victim yesterday event. It's very sad to see. So that means that the mandate of national security, you don't have a mandate so that you can put the priority, the life of the civilian as a number one. You are there to protect them. You are not there to kill them, right? If you think that the Red Belt are the rebels, and you recognize they are a criminal group, you label them that are rebels, what about the women and children that are not? They are not a member of Red Belt. Why is it you take the war into the civilian? If you see that the member came into the area, to the market, and you know that the market, you will see that a lot of people will be there. Civilian, innocent civilian will be there. You should not even fire any one bullet in that area. Even if it is a hotel or restaurant or something, you know for sure that people who are staying there are not only the Red Belt, there are the civilians staying in that area. So you should wait for them to leave and then go confront them. When they leave and leave out from the rebels, from the civilian area. So all of that is really it is very sad to see, and my heart and prayers are with those families who lost and wounded. Is that, and also community, board community, why we back sit down as a community, back Red Belt group, this youth back Jamaica, and also Jama. And I'm here in social media, Clubhouse, Facebook, whatever. I listen to a lot. Me ban what Muslim, and what I'm hearing from them. Non ke koi went to a diaspora with me pan bot of the diaspora went. We got koi went kai non Red Belt command. It's not bad to supporting them, it's good. But you make sure that if they are having another agenda, not just protect the civilians and protect their own property from Marol or from where they who are come ready their cattle or kidnap their children. But if there is an agenda behind it that you want to overthrow the government, that's wrong. So you should, those of you who have influence with the Red Belt, if you guys want to be a part of the SSPDF, just listen to the call that the SSPDF just saying that you guys have to join to report yourself to Marol chat, military camp, and then they will integrate you in. And then if you see the SSPDF will give you a mandate to go and protect. The same thing when we bought that our we read that he will now this link relationship with the government, they will make sure that we will have pan board that ba protect under SSPDF. And all of these men should be stay away, but that's not the case. And I think in a way you guys want to go. Buying to Panbor, whether buying to America, Panbor, to Australia, you're buying to Panbor to Juba, because you're quite a buy bullet in Panbor. You guys need to react, and also the leaders, the Panbor will talk my. Michael Mukul were there, Paul Manyang is there. A lot of them are there. This should be out of there like this, and there are big recognized leaders in Panbor, within the government or in the community. And I know Panbor people, you have a very strong community here in the United States, strong community in Australia, strong community in Canada, and everywhere. You are well recognized yourself. You have, if it is the money, you have it. If you are like a manpower, you have it. Okay? But do not different, because I'm not taking a side. I know some of you will be like, but I didn't want jam because I already received a tax somewhere. But either will like that. For I'm blaming both sides. I'm blaming you, Red Bell, and also the government, so that because why wouldn't know I felt victim here as civilians. Actually, Red Bell. Don't and government, you should not take the war into the civilian. We need no mandate to protecting them. And they claim that the Red Belt saying that, okay, we are not a rebels movement. We are not against the government. Here we attack any government block, like what NAS did with the IO or what White Army did in NASA. They didn't do that. That's a little bit. So I was been by where Kuma was been where Kana rebels, and they have brutalized themselves, they have a uniform, they have all these guns, all this. Who's don't have a gun in Sudan? So, but I think what we're wrong, you government, you should have an evidence like what you have in NASA against the Red Belt. But I don't see that. I can't think. Evident again the Red Belt, yes, evident you say that is they have a uniform. Okay, they have uniform. Actually, they got shot naked. They recognize themselves, they can have a uniform. Okay, they have their own rank. Okay, and they are denying it. Okay, they should have rank. Okay, if it is a rank, they have a rank. Okay, if you saw your Red Belt, you have to move that rank. So government, you should have accurate evidence like what you have in NASA. Everybody stand with you. The action that you take in NASA, because the White Army took the law into their own hands, killing more than 250, wounded many, and damages all the equipment of the government. Okay, you have right to respond that way in NASA, but we didn't see. We, the citizen in, we haven't seen the Red Belt attacking SSPTF. One of the camp like Marol, for example. We have not seen in media report that Red Belt achieved Marol shot, brother to attack. We haven't seen that. Or Red Belt achieved one of the any other security forces within board the attack. We haven't seen that. We didn't hear from them saying that they are regime change. We have not heard that from them. Okay. What you are showing her that the Red Belt have a weapon. We have a big machine gun. They have a uniform. Okay. So that's the evidence that you are showing her the existence of South Sudan. it doesn't show that. Didn't show that if they have all kinds of stuff, they didn't declare a war against the government. We haven't seen any declaration of war like what White Army did, that they don't want SSPDF in Nassau. Okay, we didn't hear anything from the Red Belt saying that we don't want SSPDF involved. I didn't hear that. Okay, Ping. So, this is going on in Red Belt and the government. You guys need to sit down and talk about the money you're concord. You got concord it here. To be part of Red Belt. Concord to go. Where Red Belt concord, kite, I got dog. Young and on quite what. Chairman one guy ping in your will. Michael Mupulwet, the captain, one young man need to come out. All of these bold leaders in the government, even in opposition, then Bularwai, you need to come out too. So do the rest, so that there's no any other gunfire involved. Middle of me. So if the Red Belt group need the government have to stand by his word that the Red Belt need to be integrated into SSPDF, and they have to put themselves in watch, and then give them a mandate. If they think that the people are in the need of protection, yes, give them the mandate. The Red Belt, give them the mandate, and make sure that they will go and protect their own people if the government is not protecting them. Very sad. Let me give this chance. Let's say, but Hilo, welcome. So, what do you think all of this?
Yes, thank you, Sas Madit. Thank you so much. First of all, let me greet you and South Sudan Eagle Media and your esteemed platform, both here in Clubhouse and Facebook or YouTube, and your guests down there in the room here. I would like to greet you. Yes, this is a quite a huge topic, but I like the way you put the emphasis, and I agree with you. You did appeal very well to Red Belts and the government as well, because listening to these four statements from the military that can be traced back about a month ago or a few months ago, the spokesperson of the army, whereby they came up with the the orders given to Red Belt to put their arm down or to join the army. Otherwise, they will be regarded as the enemy of the state. And I think this was echoed by General Chief of the Staff, Paul Ngang as well, where he said in Arabic, the Red Belt, so Hizam al-Ahmar, is the enemy of the state, is the only threat to our national security. That was a very serious statement, and it's a very dangerous statement to come from the military. It will put the Red Belts to the vulnerable positions, and they can be attacked. And this is, as a result, you can see what happened in the war town the other day. It is quite unfortunate. That's number one. Secondly, if you listen to the Red Belt leader as well, he was appealing if they can reason with the government. But I think there is no room that is given, as you said, you just mentioned that a while ago. The reason that being given to the Red Belt or described as the enemy of the state is simply because they have uniforms and they have their ranks. Otherwise, the objective, what led them took the arm in first place, wasn't addressed. That's another area of concern. And the statement of Johnson Olony in regard to the Heglig crisis, these famous slogans, one people in two countries, it's a very troubling statement, by the way. And if you put that into account, or people were actually slaughtered in South Sudan, Kannabi to be specific, or with Medani. And recently, our women were deported against their wills, and their children were left behind. And the social media was just standing on their feet. South Sudan, they don't want them in Sudan. And now we are receiving the defeated military of Sudan across the border. from Pantau. They were received, and this statement has to be echoed publicly. The same people in two countries. It's very troubling, but my concluded statement is that all this, if you put them together with the exception of these gentlemen of the Red Belt, this is a complete disorientation. You see, who to believe, and the government in the first place is supposed to come as a government to address all this, even though they came up very short and their statements in Heglig is very, I don't know how to call it, it's not even that weak, but it's not promising that government is going to do anything or is going to capitalize on this, because we have a battle that we fought in Heglig some years ago regarding the Pantau, that is called Heglig in Arabic, or from the northern. Even now, the way that the issue is addressed on all social media outlets, the regard to it as oil installation that belong to Sudan, and this is misleading. And we're yet to hear from our government. This is South Sudanese territory, even though it was regarded as contested or disputed area between the Sudan and South Sudan. You see, so about Madit, there's a lot going on, and this is a very good topic. And I want South Sudanese to look into it deeply, because what is happening to Sudan is, I think, it's coming to unfold, and it's going to implicate or have ramifications in our borders between the north and south, and even in our geopolitical in South Sudan, especially in the area of the economy. I know the Heglig oil installation being off duty since 2023, but it is the collecting point whereby the crude oil are collected and then from there shipped to Port Sudan and later on to international market. Is going to be affected as well, but we will see. And there is another area you didn't mention here. I think there was a bombardment by the Sudanese armed forces. I think is it yesterday or last night, whereby there's a number of casualties along from the South Sudanese armed forces. Nobody talks about that as well. If there is an agreement between the two generals, Salva Kiir and Abdel Fattah al-Burhan, so I don't see it is necessary for the Sudanese armed forces to bombard the area as well. This is complete irresponsible action by the Sudanese, and it has to be condemned. But the way from our side, the way our generals are addressing this, they are quite lenient. And as I told you earlier, this is a statement. I think it was borrowed from someone who is a politician. This has been said every now and then when you go to Khartoum. That's what you say. Oh, the same people in two countries. And when you come to South, the same people in two countries. This is a complete misleading to people of South Sudan. You see? And I think we can open a discussion. I would like to encourage those folks downstairs here, if you guys want to be part of the discussion, if you have questions or anything. Madit was speaking in Jiang a while ago. He's appealing to Red Belt and the army to try to find a way to compromise, because Boer community is in the area that is quite hostile, and there were a number of incidents since 1991. Therefore, the youth, I think, they're left with nothing apart from taking arms to defend themselves. The government should intervene, or to at least be reactive. I mean, be proactive. By dealing with the situation. At least give a contract, put your arm down, or join the military, and the issue of insecurity can be addressed. 1, 2, 3, 4. But this thing is yet to be heard from the government side. This is where my concern is. Otherwise, I will leave it there, Brother Madit. Very good topic and good rooms. And those folks, if you guys want to be part of discussion as well, you guys are more than welcome to weigh in. Thank you so much, Sir Madit.
Thank you, Saratika. Thank you for this. Before we open the area, because I will be closing this video. Before I close up this video, let me one of the civil society organization in Akani, he respond to that incident happening in Marol between the Red Belt and security forces yesterday. So listen what he said.
Yakani, Executive Director of SEPO, I would like to take this opportunity to strongly condemn the occurrence of military confrontation between the government forces and members of Red Bell in Marol markets in outskirts of Bor town, which have led to loss of lives, and we pay condolence for those lives that we have lost, and we have injured individuals, including women and children, and we hope that they will quickly recover from their injuries. As a civil society leader, I would like this opportunity to appeal with all respect and honor to His Excellency President that the situation that is developing in Bor Town and around the outskirts of Bor Town for the last few months, where we have seen incidences of confrontation, physical and verbal, between Red Bell group and the government forces, is a serious issue. It's an issue that requires a quick attention. We are aware that there is a limitation in providing safety and security to the civilian population, and this has made some communities to come with the community defense force. And we hope that those community defense force have to be turned as an agent of military confrontation between the government forces and the members of the community that decided to form a community defense force. But also, community defense force should not be policies to deliver certain political objectives. Otherwise, that will be an act of violating the law or being in conflict with the law. We like this opportunity to appeal to members of leadership of the government of Jonglei State, at the same time also members of leadership of Red Bell, that there is a necessity for dialogue of means of resolving conflicts. Yes, there may be making misunderstandings or experience misunderstandings in the past, but we can't sort out your misunderstandings through the dialogue. The best way forward is to embrace a dialogue for sorting out differences that you might have as two conflicting groups or two conflicting entities. We are aware that the current community defense forces are providing alternative safety and security to the communities, but they can't be used for any political motives or political gain. And that's why we are urging for dialogue between the Red Bell leadership and leadership with the government of Jonglei State. But also the hope that His Excellency President will have a quick attention to the situation around Bor Town. That is disturbing, that is making us feel our citizens are paying a very expensive price. We have seen images of injured children who are completely innocent in this one. Who does not know what is going on. Today, they are paying a very expensive price by sustaining injuries, and some of them are completely affected in their bodies, and that will remain as a history in their lifetime. And we hope that some of them do not lose their lives. We demand the leadership of the country to address the situation urgently and in a sustainable manner. Thank you very much.
There you have it. Thank you, Ilmunyakan, for wonderful people. Always you there. You are a voice of voiceless, so you always stand with the people. Thank you. Keep up the good work. Okay, Ajak, do you, before I close the studio, Ajak, do you have to say something before I close? Ajak?
Yes. What's the minute?
Yes. Well,
أخبارك؟
yeah, totally, yeah.
شكرا. خلينا نحييك تحية كبيرة بعد ظهورك، وإن كان بعد غياب يعني أنت ما أعرف فترة كده ما شفناك ما شفنا ذاك. كما عودتنا لما تكون في قضايا صعبة أنت ممكن تتخلى ماشي في الأفكار. تشكر ظهورك بهذا الحديث. أنا قبل كنت واحد من المعلومات وتمام في مواضيع مهمة يا أخوان اللي أنتم قاعدين تتكلموا فيها قضايا يعني مدى أهمية. وعبر خلينا نشكر أستاذ إبراهيم وللدعوة كمان. أنا ما جبت طوالي، أنا حقيقتي بدأت لكن كان لازم أجي برضو الجمهور ذاك كلهم كمان. الموضوعين
هم يعني أي واحد يصعب من الثاني يعني بتاع طنطاو أمين طنطاو إلا يعني أنا ما حكمت الموضوع بتاع ضد يمكن 80 غير إنه ما عنده يعني معلومات كافية لكن يحدون الأمل يعني وشغلتنا كبيرة في المجتمع بتاع إنهم هم مؤهلين إنه يتجاوزوا هذه الحاجة فكثير من الشباب المؤيدين ضد الميديا تقريبا يوم الحدث أو الأمس لما حصل الحاجة في آخر شيء جاء واحد شرح لي الموت وكانت دي روايته هو ما سمعنا الرواية الأخرى أو بقية كانت رواية مختلفة لكن الوضع بيقول إنه في أزمة حقيقية وفي تسعيد لكن دائما شغلنا كبيرة في المجتمع بتاعكم إنه قادر يعني يتعامل مع هذه الأزمة وخصوصا إنه في تطورات في البلد بصورة عامة كبيرة بخصوص الموضوع بتاع وانتو أو باي ذا واي وانتو هي كلمة هي نفس الكلمة معناها العربي يعني الأخوان الشماليين ما جابوا حاجة بينهم هم بس كسروا هي كيش تطلعوا يعني ف كما معروفين إنه هي واحدة من المناطق الخلافية والأخوان الشماليين ما يقولوا الكلام ده طبعا بالآبار فيها طبعا فالتطور اللي حصل ده لواحد من يقول مطبات اللي يمكن تفهمنا بشكل بآخر فأنا حاسس ما شاء الله إذا المدرسة ما يدعم معه بشكل كويس لأنه لما تسمع الكلام بتاع النشطاء السودانيين ولما ينظروا لهذا الملف وهذا بيشوف إنه هم ما شايفين إنه عندها مشاريع بيقدر يمشي أكبر أو ولا الجنوبيين ياخذوا جابوا يقولوا الجنوبيين ياخذوا جابوا ده مشاريع يقولوا الجنوبيين ياخذوا ده مشاريع باب النوسة والفاشل والكلام ده كله من غير حياة ومن غير خجل مع انه هم معاهم جنوبيين يعني يصفهم بالضروره لكن لما يحصل حادث زي ده هم قاعد يقولوا الجيش الجنوب هو ياهل يقولوا الجيش الجنوب بعدين معظم النشطاء يعني ما هو زول سلم منهم وده قد يكون للجهل لكن برضه تعبئه من الشعب السوداني انه جنوب السودان ناوي يتدخل فيها وان كان المسؤولين الجنوبيين يتكلموا بكل وضوح انه في يعني اتصال وفي كلام قاعد يمشي بين المسؤولين في البلدين يعني لكن الحكومه بتاعتهم ما داير يوضح لهم الحاصل فيه لما هم يتهموا انه جنوب السودان هو اللي دخل الجيش دخل دعم سريع طيب الجيش اللي بتاعهم ده دخل جنوب السودان ليه جنوب السودان ما يتعامل معه؟ الجيش دخل جيش شعبه جابوه بكل وصل صوره صوت انه دخلوا بكل عتادهم وكل العتادة عسكري ولا جسدي كلهم زي ما قال الجنوبي وضح كل هذا وبعثوه من جوبا مخصوص وكل مسؤولية يتعامل مع الوضع كله مسؤولية يعني يتعامل مع الطرفين ناس تعمل سرير الجواب وناس الجيش يستخدمون بعتادهم طيب انت جيشك بيهتم حتى الناس بتاع بنوس بالمناسبة وصلوا جنوب السودان الأمور ما ولا حساسية المسألة طبعا الناس ما يقدروا يوثقوا الناس لأنه الناس منها جايين لكن الميديا المتابع والتعبئة الحاصلة في الشارع السوداني خلينا نقول مختلفة تماما من الكلام اللي قاعد يحصل وطبعا يمكن من الظروف العملياتية والحالة النفسية الماشية بها الشارع السوداني ذاته من الحرب المتين ومن الحرب وبعدين أي تخاذل بيربط تحريز قريب يعني فالتزعيد الحاصل في كده خطير جدا جدا واكيد له تاثير وكانت فعلا الكلام ده حصلت تجاوزات من الجيش السوداني زي ما قال استاذ فهيم والمسؤولين يعني رغم التفاهمات دي كلها هم ضربوا المنطقه التاريخيه فهذا التصعيد يعني هو يعني من خطوره المكان يعني على الجانبين التجاوزات دي طبعا تكررت اكيد الجيش بتاع الجنوب حيكون تعامل مختلف يعني تعامل كيحصل ده. نعم في اتفاقيات والمنشآت النفطية وهذا الكلام ده غير انه في ذاتها كواحدة من المناطق اللي نادى عليها. كل هذه التعبيرات الان هي حاضرة في مشهد، وبالتالي نحن مطالبين نتابع هذا الملف بكل يعني حساسيته حتى انه الناس تقدر تتعامل معه تطلع منه باقل خسائر ممكنه. خلينا نتكلم في هيجلي كنت متنازع عليه، وقبل اليوم ده كان حصل نزاع ده، وفي سجال بيقول دي بالمناسبه حصل في نائب رئيس السياسة أول تعبان جاي تعبان جاي نائب الرئيس اسمه تعبان جاي ولا تعبان جاي هو محمد حسن فاضل تعبان دين ولا تعبان جاي تعبان دين جاي انا حتى لو في سجال قوي جدا ما اسوي بينه وبين محمد حسن الفاضل في موضوع هجليج ده، وده الدفاع مستميت. والكلام ده ظهر طبعا ظهر هسه في النهايه. فالسجال لو لاحظت انه الشماليين بيقول انه بس الموضوع ده الحجه بتاعهم في الموضوع بتاع هجليج ده او فهمتوا ده انه في لجنه رفيعه المستوى هي اللي يعني اكسبت انه الحدود ده بشكل ذكر يعني. واللجنه ده فوق اسماء انا لو بتحيي الزمن بدي لكم المقطع بتاع الفيديو تسمعوا الكلام بتاع تعبان جاي يعني محمد حسن اللمين. محمد حسن من يزول مجرم كبير جدا جدا كلب، لانه هو كان امين عام بتاع مؤتمر الشعب، كان ماشي مع الترابي، وبعدين لما حصل نايف في النص جاء نصل ثاني مشى بيك مع ناس عمر البشير يعني خذل الناس الترابي. فتعبان كان حصل في حته جدا انه السجال كان في قناه الجزيره انا بتذكر، وكان بيقول انه يا اخي الحجه بتاعهم انه اللجنه العاليه المستوى هي جمله الكلام ده التحديد، ما عندهم دانا اي مستند انه يزيد شماليه. وده بيقول يا اخي المنطقه دي منطقه الناس على ماشي ليش الشماليه والسكان ساكنين شنو كلام شكله. فالذاكره لو مديت بيسعوا زمن خليني نلعب المقطع ده لو استاذ ابراهيم اذا مبريك كده بيكون دي مساهمتي معاكم حتى انه يعني ذاكره الناس تنشط انه اللي يحصل ده ما حاجه عابره ساكت، وده ما عشان تامين للبترول وكلام شكل ده. لسه يعني احنا الموضوع بتاع هجليج خصوصا النزاع بتاع السودان ده واحد كان في روم سابقه يقول يا اخي نحن المفروض ده المناسب نحن فوق، قلنا ده ما زمن المناسب، زمن المناسب بيجي براو عشان الناس تحسم القضايا دي. فالصراع الشمالي ده قد يؤدي لانقسامات وقد انقسام السودان وقد حاجات كثيره، فبيجي وقت مناسب نحن نقدر فوقه نرفع كل هذه النقاط الخلافيه بعد ذاك سواء كان بالمقاضاه ولا كان باي شكل من الاشكال كل خيارات بتكون مفتوحه يعني. خلاص المسألة السودان بقول دار ابوه كان خرب يا استاذ ابراهيم بقول فاهم شنو؟ شيل منك سريعه ده مسألة سوداني اصيل بالضبط. دار ابوه كان خرب انت تقلع تشيل حصتك بعنايه يا هو السودان هو دار ابوه خرب، فنحن نضمن حاجاتنا قبال ما يعني الاداره الخلافيه دي كلها لازم نرفعها فوق هسه دي، ونلو بيح كمان الشعب السوداني عشان يعرف انه ما يجنب يعمل لنا حركات. انا سمعت اول تصريحات بتاعت النايف كده، انا قاعد اتكلم سمعت اول تصريحات بتاعت يعني واحد من اعلى الاصوات والابواب بتاعت البرهان اسمه الانصراف يتناقش الموضوع ده بشكل، لكن تحس انه طعم الانجزاء انهم محزومين يعني. هم من قالوا الموضوع ده هو اعلن حاله استغفار، قال البالكيري قال كل ما قال لكن الاستغفار خاص بالجنوب، لكن قال بعد ما اعلن عن الاستغفار قال نحن الملف ده قبل ما نطرحه للجنوب خلينا نطرحه لحمدوك. يا حمدوك الان الجنوب دخل في هجليج، انت رايك شنو؟ يعني يحمل المسؤوليه دي الناس حمدوك ولا ناس انه يتعصب فرطوا في هجليج. هم اللي يلوك الموضوع ده بهذا الشكل. يعني لازم برضه نعمل له بهذا الشكل، يعني ما في شكل يعني ليه منطقه بنادى عليها، غير انه واحده من فيها منشات نفطيه وبعدين حارسين الاتفاقيه بيقول انه حمايتها مسؤوليه الطرفين، يعني حمايه المنشات النفطيه هم مسؤوليه في رجل واحد. على اي حال هذا هو الموقف والمشهد عامل نفسه كده. فموضوع هيلي ده دار روم براو غير الموضوع بتاع يعني الموضوع بتاع الريد بيل ده بيخلينا ما نتكلم في هيلي بشكل واضح يا أخوان مريض، لأنه الريد بيل لو في ناس معيدين ناس معرضين، وده موضوع داير يفتحوه بشكل براو، يعني كلامه فوق لغة مختلفة من اللغة بتاعتنا. نحن حاسس الموضوع بتاع هيلي ده موضوع بتاع الناس كلهم يعني بالضرورة يعني هذا الأساس. انا شايف كده، بتمنى انه بيكون بهذا الشكل. انا يا اخوان احنا نستمع للسجال، انتم موافقين يا بن مديد نستقبل السجال بتاع محمد حسن والاستاذ تعبان.
Yes. Yeah, you can.
خلاص اسمعوا ده خير تعبان جنجاي. محمد حسن الفاضل ده زول مجرم كبير، يعني زول كان امين عام للمؤتمر الشعبي، بيجي ثاني عنده مسؤوليه كبيره، هو من الناس خلينا نقول على الصف الاول في الحركه الاسلاميه، ومن الناس كثير. على اي حال يسمعوا الرجال. You don't know ظهر قريب حتى الاسم بتاع الزار ما بتاع صندوق يا محمد حسن امين بتاع شنو؟ بتاع فقط خرطوم. انا بعد انت حتى زاد الاسم زار ما بتقدر تطلب كويس، فانت زار ما بتقدر تطلب كويس، انت وين تعبان. ايوه انت ما تعرف حاجه. انا ما تعرف حاجه منطقه المنطقه اتفقت سكان البنيه الفنيه العليا انت لهذه الفنيه عامل توقيعات العقيد مهندس رياض نيكول المهندس رياض نيكول زادت نيكول لا رجال هذا ششوى وثور ما اسمه جون فيلا ما اسمه رياض نيكول. المهم شنو دار الاعضاء اللجنه الفنيه العليا هذه على وصل 4 مناطق مختلفه عليها. هذا تدريب هؤلاء يدوروا ما ممكن يحكموا بلد بكل الانتظار. انا عايز اقول هم الخارطه التي تخرج سمعت مقطع ده جزء من الحوار، طبعا حوار طويل. محمد الحسن الامين الدليل بتاعه انه شليد، هو بيقول الشليد ليس المتنازع عليها حتى يعني، وتعبان بيقولوا من المناطق اللي فيها خلاف يعني. هو قال ما خلاف، قال الدليل على انه اللجنه المتخصصه العليا دي المفوضيه بتاعت الحدود يا اخواننا. ده المفوضيه الحدود ده احنا قلنا مرارا انه ما خدت فوقه الا اهله بس. المفوضيه ده كلها اعضاها ناس بتاعين بانتو ديل بس، حتى بدهم يقولوا اسمائهم. ودي واحده من الجرائم. انا ما دام اقول انه لا، واحده من التفريط انه هذه اللجنه فوق ناس يعني ما عندهم علاقه بموضوع الحدود ولا بيعرفوا، فوقعوا على ورق وورطونا كله في الموضوع بتاع هيلي ده. يعني هسه محمد حسن بيتكلم انه هي ليست متنازع عليها ذاته، هي شماليه خالصه يعني. هو اوكي عارف انه الموضوع بتاع انه حفره النحاس متنازع عليه وده متنازع، لكن هي بيقول متنازع عليه لانه اللجنه فقط لسان مضوا هذا الموافقه في موضوع بتاع الترسيم. دي واحده من الورطات الكبيره. انا ما اعرف اللجنه دي عندهم شنو مقابل الكلام ده، ولا هم بيمضوا وهم ما عارفين. يعني عندنا تجربه في شمال النيل مع هذه اللجنه، يعني لما جو هناك وكان مشاريع نص مقاطعه بنك داير يسلموا للشمال، كان نص مقاطعه بنك كان داير يسلموا للشمال، والانقذنا منه. والناس ما جابين خبر، هم ماشيين في مشاريع فوق. زول واحد من المزارعين هو زول شمالي، لما جاء شال الكمبيوتر طم جيب يا كسر جيب السام ده، قال لهم انتوا حرامين ولا شنو؟ فهو اللجنه بتاع الرياض دي هو ورطنا في الموضوع بتاع قانون ده. فهم ما عندهم دليل حاجه غير الموضوع بتاع اللجنه. انا حنزل النايله تحت كده لانه البريك ده على وشك بتاع السجال ده، وين كان هو مشهور في الفيسبوك يعني. اعتبروا انا بجيب هنا يا اخواننا، بعدين لما نطلع بجي بواصل معاكم في نفس التابك ده. شكرا بن مجيد.
شكرا Ben Jack for your input for analysis regarding about what's going on between what's going on in English and also in Red Belt. Yes, of course. We will continue to discuss this our in the clubhouse. And before I close down the studio, Benjak and Ustad Ibrahim, let me ask you the closing discussion. So before I close this, can you guys answer this question? The capture of English by RSF and the confrontation between the Red Bell and security personnel in Bor. So what make like the security? What do you guys think about the security and the local tension between the SPDF and local youths like Red Bell, for example, any other youths like Miami and other youths in South Sudan? This intention can shape South Sudan peace and security environment. So what do you guys think the government and the people of South Sudan can do so that they can stop this violence, this war because South Sudan now is in chaos, everywhere in South Sudan. So what can be done when we are close to 2026? So what, this is the question what you do. What advice do you want to give to the government of South Sudan and also regarding what's happening in English, Marol, and also in other part in water area, and also what is happening not only for Red Man, but any other what can be done, what government can do, and also what can they use to stop all of this violence. So what is that
Yeah, very good questions, Madit. I think the two incidents it happened as a coincidence. There is no correlation between the fall of Heglig to demonstrate and the crisis of war by the Red Belts and the government of South Sudan. My simple advice to the government of South Sudan is this: the year is ending, and you don't need to open many fronts or to create a situation whereby people are going to be panicked. There is domestic issue, and we have international crisis happening along our borders. This Red Belts issue, I think, is very simple to be addressed in 2 or 1 days, given the fact that if you listen to the Red Belt leaders, he was open and he was pursuing or pledging that we need to reason with the government. So I think that is the ground, to contain the situation in Bor. So government need to engage as soon as possible to put that to rest, so people of Bor and the Jonglei community in general can receive the Christmas with open heart and peace and harmony, and then they coexist, hoping that the new year will come with a different situation, and then they can deal with the issue of glitch here. And I think a lot of the international community and the IGADs and the African unions are watching very closely to what is happening, and therefore I think it should be given a priority. At the same time, there is no necessity to let the crisis in Bor to continue. Meanwhile, they can be addressed without confusing, all these statements from the General Chief of Staff and from the spokespersons, which is contradicting and creating disorientation to the average people in the Bor community. And this is not necessary, and there is no need for that. I think government has the ability to contain that as soon as possible. There is a lot of rooms. They can do it in 3 days, and then calmness will come back to the community. That's my advice to the government, yes. So Mr. Dean can take it from here.
Yeah, was that just like Mr. Dean, are you there? Okay, so thank you, everyone, for listening. So we will continue. For those of you who are watching in Facebook and YouTube, you can join us in Clubhouse. We will continue to discuss this topic about what is happening. That will be the main focus we will discuss in Clubhouse. And those of you, thank you so much for joining tonight, this morning, wherever you are. We will continue to monitor this powerful stories closely. Thank you so much. Thanks for being here. And so
Santo, man, Kolnyang, Mike, Sholgrangawan.
You guys, I can open the hand raise.
Okay, yes, there are people already.
Jillo, when it on
I think that's when you kind of call out. Great.
I think a kick, Buka, the Vogue, Anyali and Kuika Pingrin, Gemana, when I jang along, I do Kagaparandi, Madit Majak, Makur, Kagaboli, Kuaita Jam, Wagaridin, Kegelang, Emmanuel, when you go, I think a kick, Buka, the Vogue, Anyali and Kuika Pingrin, Gemana, when I jang along, I do Kagaparandi, Madit Majak, Makur, Kagaboli, Kuaita Jam, Wagaridin, Kegelang, Emmanuel, when you go, I think a kick, Buka, the Vogue, Anyali and Kuika Pingrin, Gemana,
You guys come up. So we have Brian, you guys have good questions. So thank you guys. Have a nice day.